If you know me at all, you know that I blend who you're being with kind ways of doing things with your horses to create a deep and unbreakable bond with your horse. One that goes with you wherever you go, one that keeps you safe and connected to your horse in any situation. That means out on the trail. That means if you need to leave the herd that you're with for some reason that your horses all say the same thing. They say, yes, I would love to go. Yes, I would love to be with you. If you're at home and you just want to go out riding from home, your horse, anyone that you pick, take your pick, any one of these guys. There's a horse there somewhere, way off in the distance. Anyone that you pick, they all say the same thing. Yes, I would love to. I would love to go with you. If your horses are not saying, yes, I would love to, why not? Who are you being that they don't feel comfortable or safe or want to go with just you? That's the key. The key is who you're being about it. Of course, what you do when you go to get your horse and take him somewhere certainly matters. Like if every time you go out and get your horse, all you do is saddle them up and drill, practice hard, practice riding some, dressage patterns, or, practice your jumping or practice your reining patterns or your barrel racing or whatever it is. Of course, that consistency is going to create a particular relationship for you and your horse. But cross-training or being, I want to say inconsistent, but maybe being imaginative, being creative, actually taking your horse and doing different things with your horse, that's what actually makes your horse interested and a well-rounded horse who actually is able to participate with you in any situation because their life is big, because their life is interesting. And if you can't do it on their back, do it on the ground. Stop drilling them. Stop trying to tick off tasks on a task sheet because someone told you need to do this or do that or do the other thing. And start really working on creating a relationship that is based in who you're being. And I've seen this countless times. Who you're being, how you go is how your herd goes. When you are being someone who is fair and friendly and creative and count-onable, somebody who's emotionally fit and emotionally agile, somebody who can bring up the right emotion at the right moment, at the right time, when that's who you're being, horses will look at you in a very different way. When you're being a tyrant and somebody who's the boss or showing them who's boss or making them do things, soon enough, you'll be lucky if you can even catch your horse. And it's no surprise. And by the way, if you can't catch your horse, there's something going on there. That's really worth looking at. You're not the only one. Lots of people can't catch their horses. And, maybe this horse is new to you. And maybe, it's not anything that you've done. But maybe this horse is used to avoiding being caught for some reason. You're the only one that can change that. And the way that you change that is proving to your horse who you are. Now, I say that, and that sounds like an easy thing to do. Just prove to your horse who you are. But you have to be conscious of that. This is a conscious, chosen way of participating in relationship, period, in relationship, all relationships, but in particular, because we're talking about horses, who you are in relationship with your horses, who you're being in relationship with your horses. And so what I do is I really have people take a really close look and actually explore through essay. Who is it that you want your horses to know you to be? And if you know me at all, you've heard me talk about this before. This is not who you'd like to be. This is not in a perfect world who you'll develop into. But this is something that's akin to who you're being right now, but actually looking at the positive attributes. And I can use this as an example. If who you are is you feel unsafe around horses, or you feel unconfident or unsure around horses. So if you want to say, well, who these horses can count on me to be is a confident person, well, that's not true, because you're not going to show up as confident as if who you are is overly cautious or unconfident or scared or feeling unsafe around horses. But maybe who they can count on you to be is somebody who pays keen attention, somebody who's always aware, somebody who never checks out and goes on autopilot when they're around horses. Because somebody who is unconfident or nervous would not check out and go on autopilot. They wouldn't be talking on their phone, having their back turned to a whole herd of horses, right? Because confidence would have your awareness is heightened. Unconfidence would have your caution flags up high, right? So they can count on you maybe to pay keen attention. Tell me, what horse in the world wouldn't want a person who's paying keen attention to their surroundings? That's what they do. That's what creates safety in the herd. And by you embracing your ability to pay keen attention and be cautious around your horses and not thinking, oh, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared, and buying into the negativity, but buying into the positive attributes that actually can bring to you, that will actually cause you to be more confident and cause you to be more aware. And it actually will cause you to maybe see things the way they are and not the way that you wish they would be, or the way you think they are, or the way someone else has told you they are. It'll actually maybe have you be able to get grounded in reality. Now that is an attribute that every horse person can use, or every person in life can really use an attribute called being grounded in reality. You know, so often we're thinking about what it is that we think we're supposed to do, or who we think we're supposed to be. And we never actually get grounded in the reality of who we are or what's actually appropriate. And so these words, this way of being that I have my students in For the Love of Horses, my online coaching program, the way I have them really look at this is I have them get grounded in 3 attributes, not just one, because we don't want collusion, but 3, because that usually balances out somewhere in there. Like if you have a problem and I say to you, well, who are you being about it? And I ask you what your words are, usually there's an out of balance somewhere. It's not just your one way or the other, but if you're 3 different attributes, usually there creates actual balance in that. So I'm happy to help you work through that. That's it's one of the very first lessons in For the Love of Horses, is really getting clear about this. And you'd be surprised at how many people think they're clear about these attributes, but they're really not. And not only that, but then what you do is you see that these attributes actually evolve over the course of time. They actually shift as you notice, am I really being who I said I would be? And when you change, I promise you, your entire herd just changes. They just fall right into that happy, cohesive herd that we all want. You know, where we're all accepted, where there's no fighting, where everyone can share the hay and share the sheds and do all the things that harmonious herds of horses do. I'm happy to help you with this. As always, I am just truly passionate about helping people really get along with their horses, because I know that if you can get along with your horse will have a forever home. And in this day and age, no one needs a horse. And we're getting further and further and further away from generations of horse people. And, you know, for some, it's a lifelong dream come true when they finally get their horse. And sadly, for those same people, that dream turns right into a nightmare where people are getting injured, or people are so afraid they can't do anything, or they're so confused by all the conflicting information on the internet today. Or even if they choose to follow a guru or a trainer or a coach or somebody, and then their coach just wants them, it's be like me horsemanship. It's not be like you horsemanship. Be like you horsemanship is just be you, and actually develop into the best version of you that you and your horses can actually do all the things you'd love with. Sure, there's tips and tricks that can help anybody, but ultimately who you're being is the key to having the relationship that you want, not only with your horse, but really everyone in your life, every place in your life. So you can reach out to me at Marianne at mariannebrewer.com. You could just go over to mariannebrewer.com. It's my website. Check that out and see what offerings there are there. And I look forward to talking to you again.